No, dear one, it's all about sovereignty now. It's all about sovereignty. This is the most important thing for those of us who want to be free, who want to slip out of that contracted density that we call the false matrix. It is simply time. And today, maybe we should really take a look at how we keep ignoring those little nudges that either is going to pull us this way or that way. So for me right now, it is such a fine line, and it is so delicious because I feel I can walk this fine line, being aware what pulls me out and being aware what keeps me in. And that's why becoming so aware of the inner nudges, the inner um, uh, prompts, feelings, expansions, knowing, there is a way that our body or our soul communicates with us so that we can move in the right direction. And I will say it again, this is so important right now because the pull away from our truth, from our soul, from our being is mighty, mighty strong. And it might get stronger as we move ahead in the next few months because the energies are really amping up. That means that our sovereignty, our soul, our true essence is coming through. It really feels like we are giving birth to ourselves, to our true nature, to our soul, so it can come into full expression beyond all that density, the contractions, the layers, the lies, the fears, the insecurities. It's like it's growing, and it's pushing up against that density. And that's what I talked about the other day, that push, it's because we're pushing up against the resistance, right? We don't just say, oh, okay, yeah, just come on in, right? We have this like, because it's so familiar. We think that's who we are. Everybody else is like that. There's no way we can believe that we actually are love and light and the divine in full expression because it's foreign to us, to most of us. And yet, your divine expression, your soul, your sovereignty has not given up on you. It can't because it's who you are, it's who we are. And it is coming more alive in our experience. So that's why it is super important to know what that feels like. And then, equally, what it feels like when something is pulling you away. That is the fine line that we are walking. And I have been doing everything I'm able to on my little channel to help my viewers get familiar with your body language, with your soul language, with the sensations, the felt sense in your body that give you a sense of knowing, expansion, peace, love, um, calmness, um, confidence. I mean, there are some feelings in there that are very, very real, that have always been there, but that have been covered with all that fear that has been programmed into us and seems to be getting stronger every day. That's why it's very hard to reach a lot of people because they are so contracted in the density, and they believe that this is the only thing that is real, and they're going to hold on to it for dear life. You may know a lot of people who do that. I certainly do, and I know no matter what I say, it just it goes, it doesn't land anywhere. And in the beginning, of course, it was a little frustrating, but then over time, it's like, wow, I can just meet them in my presence, and then the presence will do the rest. It's not my responsibility. I thought it was for a while, but it is not. The part of me that thought it was my responsibility was where I still was identifying with the density of the duality, the programming. That's where I thought, okay, I have to do something. But as that has dissolved, it makes no sense to me that I have to go and do something out there other than just being who I am. And if that wants to move in a certain direction to do something, for instance, having a YouTube channel, I'll just go with that. And that is the simplicity of when we start really trusting our true being more than the the false identity that we have been living as the deepest truth. So what I'm noticing is that this true expression that I am, and you can just see if that also resonates with you, if you have that same experience or not. You're welcome to share in the comments if you want. But this thing here, right, that is becoming more and more and more real to me. And that's of course because this is literally my reason for being here on the planet, to fully embody who I am. Took me a while to figure that out, but I had to work through all that density first. So as this grows, it kind of grows beyond this density, these layers, and they're like, it feels ridiculous to me to engage with them. Does that mean that I never engage with them? I don't do it in a conscious way, but I know that still some underlying unconscious layers are actually engaging with it because that those parts are not free yet. That's where the my sovereignty, the sovereignty and my fullness, the light has not fully penetrated all these layers that I have lived under for a long, long time, just as we all have. There's nobody who goes free here. We have all been totally lost in this dream. And, I would say we probably signed up for it. I do believe that, even though we may not remember it. But what I know now is that I've completed that, and I'm just here now to really become and embody my full self, my full divine expression. And that's why, so the nudges, the inner nudge is very, very clear. It's like when you look up in the sky and you see it's blue, right? Who's going to argue with that? There probably will be people who will. But just from a five sense perspective, there's like, yeah, there's blue. And that's what it starts feeling more and more, that like, yeah, this is literally who and what I am. And then when these hypnotic suggestions come in that want to tell me otherwise, you know which ones they are? You're not good enough. There's something wrong with you. People don't like you. You're unlovable. Those are all the core beliefs that we have been programmed with from the moment we were born. I did a video on that a while ago. You can go watch it. It's called something like "You are not born in sin, you were born into the matrix." That programming is what wants to keep us imprisoned in the false matrix. So that's why, at least in my book, it's so important to learn to practice how to unhook from that grip, because it comes in, right, as a hypnotic suggestion. And it's up to us if we do this. And if we do, as I've said before, then we get pulled out. And then we are doing another round in the false matrix. So the more we can learn to recognize when this comes in and wants to pull us out, it will have an impact. You will feel it. You will immediately feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, or oh, I did something wrong, or oh, I can't do it. Oh, that's too scary. You feel it. This feeling will normally go and say, okay, I'll go with you. The more you recognize that, and the more you learn to be present in the felt sense of what this suggestion infuses in you, fear, you go here, and you feel the fear. You don't go there, you go here, and you stay here, and you feel your way through whatever is going on here. You do not feed that one. You just feel the fear, and you just allow that energy of the fear to dissolve, to soften. That's why I often talk about how I created this formula, a three-step formula: allow, listen, and love. So first you allow yourself to feel this fear or whatever it is, and then it can soften a little bit, and then it starts talking to you because you're now listening, and you find out, oh, I'm really afraid to fill in the blanks. Most of the time it's something like that people are not going to like me, that I'm going to do something wrong, that I'm going to end up alone. So we need to be present with these lies. They are lies. So the more we can be present and just allowing a space for these lies to just let the energy dissolve, let it just disperse. And then you'll start noticing that there's softening. There's more of a ground in you because you stayed here. You didn't go there and leave yourself. You stayed here. And the last, so there's allow, listen, and love. So you are loving to that part that's afraid. You listen to it. You may need to give it something that it doesn't know, which of course is somebody listening to it and somebody loving it. So you can really learn to be present with those parts. And maybe you need to go out and get some help. That's totally fine too. It's actually very good. But you be with that. And then the more you stay here, this one is going like, hey man, I'm hungry. Come and feed me. But you don't, because you stay here. Stay here. So these nudges to get you out is something you soften into here, the impact that it has. And the more you stay here, the more you stay in your own love by being present with what's been coming up, then you are actually dipping into your true nature. So the more you love the parts in you that are afraid or angry or whatever they are, the more your love grows. The more your true being comes online for you to experience and to express. Now the inner nudge becomes more alive because you recognize that. It's like, oh, this is who I am. I want to stay with that. So now instead of being pulled out all the time, which we've done for lifetimes, the stronger this gets because we don't feed this one, it gets stronger and more available to us. You'll recognize it much, much faster. And you go, oh yeah, this is where I want to be. And the beautiful thing about this is that you will start meeting other people who are also living this. I have this wonderful friend who showed up out of nowhere. And we have this amazing resonance. It's like we can always almost complete each other's sentences from the felt sense or from the field because we know exactly what the other one talks about. And it's very satisfying. It's like a confirmation if we need it, but it's also a connection. You're finding somebody you can connect with, you know, on this level of freedom, of sovereignty. And when you meet another soul in their sovereignty, it automatically strengthens your own. It confirms it and it feeds it. And then it's like, oh yeah. So I feel it every time. It's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I become a little bigger. Like some of the old, if there's still some beliefs that tell me that it's not true or whatever, these programming do. Just by being with somebody else, it's like, oh yeah. And expansion. When there's expansion, it's more available to me the next moment, right? Like, oh, I know myself even more now. And I like it. I want to be this. It's soft, it's loving, it's present, it's strong, it's powerful. But it doesn't have to do anything, it's just there. So that is my invitation for you today to maybe start becoming aware of the nudges, the ones that want to pull you out. Make them conscious. Once they're conscious, you have choice. When they're not conscious, you're just spinning around with them and you don't know what to do. You're lost. So we can be found, and we are the only ones who can find ourselves because we are right inside, underneath the layers and the density. So my invitation is to get really curious. What is it that pulls you away, that nudges you away from who you are and from what you want? And that's where the work begins. So if this resonates with you, I would love for you to share something in the comments, like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and reach out if you need support in that. Thank you.